Hey guys, I'm Jay Randall and welcome back to my channel where I discuss wisdom for the modern man. Today guys, got another video to react to. This one is brought to us by the YouTube channel Anton Daniels. The title of the video, Men You Call Lame Today, Women Want Tomorrow. Without further ado, let's get right into it.
I also don't try to be their mom. I let them know I'm just the extra pillar here, baby. I'm not trying to replace your mom.
That part too.
So why you be so mad about the stepdad? Stepdad,
Because
you
you don't.
stepdaddy.
Because listen,
I got deals.
a kid is always gonna seek to find the person that created him.
Okay.
There is absolutely nothing wrong with that, though.
I'm gonna address you tonight.
Ooh.
I'm ready.
I'm gonna address you tonight.
I'm ready.
Real talk. Let me tell y'all something. I'm gonna tell ladies. I'm gonna talk to y'all for a second, but I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. This is the honest to God truth. And your man not gonna tell you this. So don't check him later on tonight once I give you the information. Okay? Most guys, if they had to do it all over again, because they say they there for their kids, even if they mad at you. If they had to do it all over again in a lot of instances, and they not gonna tell you this, that kid would never exist.
Same thing with women. There's a lot of women that would
No,
impose
no, no,
their legs
take
to them
it in.
losers.
Take it in for a minute.
I
Hold
took
on.
it in for a minute. That's how I got Chandler.
Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. If he had to do it all over again, that kid would never exist. Meaning that they regret ever being with you in the first place.
Do you know that shoe goes two ways?
So
It definitely go two
If your
ways.
baby daddy don't like you, what makes you qualify for an upgrade? Why do y'all standards get better when your circumstances get worse?
Just because you dealt with a man that didn't do right by you don't mean you don't deserve what you supposed to
You
have.
deserve a better one.
What you mean? Why? What? So you telling me that because I already have children that I don't deserve a good man?
Yes.
That don't make no sense at all.
First of all, you don't deserve anything. And that's the problem we have with a lot of women, is that they think they deserve things. You see, men view the world through the lens of, I must earn. Women view the world through the lens of, I deserve. And that is why so many women don't have the incentive to change, to self-improve. Because regardless of how they act, regardless of their prior poor decision-making skills, regardless of how they dress, regardless of whatever it is they do and how they live their life, they could be the most promiscuous, the most, chaotic. They might even indulge in sex work. In their mind, they still believe, regardless of anything that they have done in the past, they still believe they deserve a good man. And so if you believe that you deserve, regardless of your behavior, you still deserve, there's something owed to you, what incentive do you have to do different? What incentive do you have to change, to self-improve, to change your habits? And that's the problem, is that this woman has made prior poor decisions, slept with men that weren't qualified, and yet she's here demanding a better man. And chances are she hasn't even changed. Chances are she hasn't even realized where she went wrong. But she still has in her brain that somehow she's owed. Reality, life owes her this amazing outcome. Simply by virtue of her being a woman. Women truly believe this. Men don't. Ask a man what he deserves. And then ask a woman what she deserves. She's gonna list out the earth, moon, and the stars in terms of what she deserves. Ask a man, you're gonna get a far more humble answer when it comes to asking a man what he thinks he deserves.
That don't make no sense at all.
All right, so listen,
That's
y'all.
crazy.
Hold on.
But
I-
but I'm
perfect
so
sense.
glad that the world don't work the way he thinks it should, because we have a lot of people that'll be just asked out.
Now, do you mean? No, hold on one second. I got a
No,
question.
but let me
I
give
got
her a
question.
solution.
I got a question. Do you think that she don't deserve a good man, period, or do you want her not to have a date at all until the kids are 18?
No, I want her to go back with her baby daddy.
But he a piece of shit.
And I would never.
Listen, okay.
And I would never.
So that's the thing, man. These girls, look at how she's talking about her baby daddy, the guy she gave access to her body. They're willing to put themselves in the most vulnerable position. Give this man access to something like your body, like your womb, And now you're turning around saying, I would never? What kind of man did you sleep with? And this is the problem with women trying to behave the way men do. They try to sleep around like men. They try to move through this dating scene like men, thinking that there's no repercussions for that. To where a man will sleep with a woman and there won't be really, any major, impact on his life. But if a woman gives access to a man, that's a very big risk she's running there. But because women feel as though they can move like men, act like men, dress like men, sleep around like men, they end up in these situations where they're giving access to men who are not worthy even by their own standards, to where you gave him your womb, but now you're turning around and saying, I would never go back to him. That speaks volumes to the men that you choose. You think you're slighting him or making him look bad. That makes you look bad because you're the one who gave him the access to your body in the most vulnerable, intimate way. And now you're looking back on the individual that you chose and you're like, I would never. That's poor decision-making skills on your part as the woman, but they don't see it that way because they never hold themselves accountable for their decisions. It's never their fault that they're in the situation that they're in. It's never, man, I chose poorly. Man, I really need to do better. It's the world. I'm still a princess who deserves everything. Remember the word deserve? They still believe they deserve everything. It's not my fault that I'm in this predicament. Previously, she used she used the phrasing, so if I get with a man who doesn't do right by me, I don't deserve a good man. You see how she framed that? Where she didn't take accountability? It was, he didn't do right by me. His fault. She chose him, but it's his fault because he didn't do right by her. They never take accountability for the men that they choose or the outcomes that they have. And regardless of the poor decision-making skills and the poor choices that they keep making and how they keep compounding, it's not their fault. It's their mom's fault. It's the boyfriend's fault. It's the baby daddy's fault. It's their dad's fault. It's society's fault. It's their grandma's fault. It's the world's fault. The world is at fault, not me. And so everybody needs to get it together. That way I can get what I deserve. This is female logic for you.
You open up your legs to is your husband.
20 years ago. Do you know how old these kids are? These kids are fucking teenagers.
The guy,
she gave him some coochie before she even knew how to use that coochie.
First of all, see, my situation might not be everybody's situation.
She said that as though that was a justifiable response to what took place. She gave him some coochie before she even know how to use it. You don't see a problem with that? You see how she said that statement to take away accountability from the woman? It's like, bruh, let's just keep going.
I had my kids young. I had my children young. So to be honest with you, I agree with him when he said you look for your father. I didn't have that. I didn't have my father. I didn't have a male in my life that really taught me what a man was supposed to be. So I really was walking around blind trying to figure it out. I'm running into people. If I knew better, I would have vetted. You feel me? I didn't know what that was at 16. I didn't know what that was.
But listen, it goes back to the original conversation that I was having. And I said that women are selfish. When I grew up, I used to be in the church. I grew up in the church.
Get all comfortable.
And I will always see women pray to God for a good man. Send me this man that I deserve. But then I always would ask my mom, and she would pop me in the mouth. And I would ask my mom.
I'm on her side. I'm about to do it right now.
Honestly, and this is how my brain works. This is not a joke. This is real. I would ask my mom. I would say, well, what about him? Like, why would God mess his life up by giving him you?
So you first of all, what I never hear you say. For some reason, you don't make men take accountability for their choices.
No, you missing
you
what I'm saying.
blame women for everything. No, you never make men take accountability for what they do.
I do, but what I'm saying is, this
I don't get that. Why is it always the woman's fault?
Because when you think about it, what I was taught in church was you treat people how you want to be treated.
Thanks.
Some of these women, guys know what they qualify for. They know they don't qualify for the top woman. Women will take the best option knowing that she gonna mess his life up, knowing that she gonna slow him down. When them women was in church praying, and I would look at her, and I would look at that booger wolf.
That is not nice.
So,
you can't
but
call
this
the
the thing.
booger wolves in church.
But everybody think they deserve Idris Elba.
But he not talking about the men who decided to date that though.
Everybody deserve Idris Elba, no matter what you look like.
Let me give you something.
These men still made the decision to deal with these women.
Let me tell you.
That is so true. I told you that goes back to what I was just saying. Regardless of the poor decisions they've made in their past, they could have a train wreck of a past. They still think they deserve the top tier guy. And so even hypothetically, let's say they do get a good guy, because they're coming from the framework of I deserve, they never changed their behavior patterns of how how they made decisions, how they act, how they conducted themselves. They're still the same person. They just happen to luck out and get a good guy. He's right. They're going to treat that man poorly. They're going to ruin his life because they didn't address the issues that led to them getting poor outcomes in the past. They just kind of lucked out and got themselves a good guy. And they're going to end up ruining his life. And that's why I truly believe God doesn't give these women good men a lot of the times, because he knows if I put a good man in this woman's hands, she's going to destroy him. She's going to make him miserable. She's going to destroy his peace. He's going to have to be worrying about what she's up to all the time. And I'm not going to put my good man in her hands for her to do that to him. I believe the same thing when it comes to good women. I don't believe that God's going to give a man who's reckless and not doing what he's supposed to be doing a good, wholesome woman. And I think that's why so many women are in the church praying, I need a man, I need a man, I need a man. Well, first of all, they're not doing their due diligence and putting in the effort to get one. They're just kind of sitting there, praying to God, hoping he'll come. They're not really putting themselves out there in a attractive manner. Second, they're not even willing to change for the good man who comes into their life. They're still going to be stuck in their ways. They're still going to want to be hard-headed and combative. And bro, quite frankly, they don't deserve one. But that's just my take. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section.
These women who got kids, who got remarried or got with other men, and these men chose to be with these women though.
So let me help you out.
They made a decision to be with these men, these women too. So I'm not understanding.
All I know, I got you too, Kay. But all I know is when I heard that prayer, I would just say rebuke that.
Anton, right.
What do you think there is? Hold on, I got a question.
I feel
In
that.
Jesus' name.
Hold on. Do you think there is a surplus?
Hallelujah.
Hold on. I got a question for you for real, in real life. Do you think it's a surplus of good men? Because let me tell you, it's not.
It is.
Yes, there is.
It's not.
It is.
There is.
I believe they out here.
It's not. It's
They
a
got-
bunch
they
of
got- No. Y'all.
It's God made 6 good niggas and 4 of them in the audience. Ladies, roll the dice.
Wrong. The good men are the ones they don't want until they've made all the poor decisions, all the bad decisions, and they're the train wreck of who they are at 30, 31, maybe even 29, because nowadays girls make some horrible decisions throughout their 20s. That older, more traumatized, emotionally wrecked individual that you are when you get older, that version of yourself, that's when you seek out the good man. But all that way up until that point, they were there. The same men were right there. And you didn't want them. You ignored them for the men who are going to be players, F-boys, hood niggas, drug dealers, scammers, celebrities, athletes. Those are the only men you could see. Despite their poor character, that was the ideal for you. And then now that you're a train wreck, you think you deserve a good man, the very same man that you overlooked throughout your prime years. And I'm pretty sure that's what Anton's going to say, because we have the same philosophy on this, the same idea when it comes to women selecting good men. Now that they're train wrecks, now they want a good man.
That's because you call them
It's a lot
niggas.
more.
Y'all know what y'all called them? Y'all called them lames.
They do be lame.
No, see?
There
and then
you
they
go.
grew up.
But that's okay.
They grew up. Now y'all at the tech conferences trying to highlight my homeboys.
They be out here.
The reality is that y'all wanted the dope boys.
Yeah,
your
type was
now,
fucking you
and
up.
no. And now that he got a felony and he can't get a job.
We gonna start a business.
She get on my nerves so bad.
We gonna start a business and get a loan from the bank, nigga.
I see women today, they don't even like guys that got regular jobs no more.
Facts.
Clock it. I'm not mad at that.
They don't like guys that got regular jobs.
You know what though? Let's talk about this.
And then you want to
That's so true. I've seen a lot of videos of women saying that they don't want to date a guy who works a 9 to 5 because then he doesn't have time for them. What if I want to go travel? What if I want to do this? What if I want to do that? And you are working your job. So they want men to it's so crazy. They want men to be able to work to make a bunch of money to afford them a $1 million lifestyle where they can fly around on private jets, be on yachts, finest of, living conditions, vacations 5 times a year to extravagant locations. But while they want that man to make enough money to give them that kind of lifestyle, they also want him to have the freedom of a homeless man, to where he essentially can just live life and just have no responsibilities and just be there with her 24/7. It's like, bro, the men who make the most money are working the most. It's like they're thinking of these like rare scenarios where the guy does some kind of, I don't know, remote work or some kind of work that could be done from his laptop to where it's, I don't know, streamlined or something. That is such a rare, unique situation to where most men don't have that job. Even the men who are making the millions of dollars, they're on call constantly. They're constantly at work, working on the business, working at the company, figuring stuff out to make more money. I see these guys every second, bro. I work at a spot where a lot of guys, rich men, come to for vacation. And they're on vacation. They'll be there with their wives, with their kids, right there. And they'll still be on the phone. You hear them talking about work. They're coming through, still trying to manage the kids. Oh yeah, sweetie, I'll be right with you. Okay, yeah, do that. Okay, they're still on the phone. Hey, yeah, so how are we gonna make that happen? Yeah, I'm gonna schedule the call with him, and we're gonna have that meeting. And it's like they're still on call. They're on vacation with their family. They're still working. Those are the men that make a bunch of money, but they want them to have this freedom to do and live, give this extravagant lifestyle. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. Women live in this fairy tale world of wanting these things that can't exist together most of the time. They want a rich alpha guy who's also a simp and puts her on a pedestal. They want a rich, wealthy man who also has the freedom of a homeless man. It's like they want an alpha guy who's strong, dominant, and successful, but he also wants that guy to accept a woman with a past, accept a woman with kids. It's like the things that they want don't make sense. They don't add up. 1 + 1, it doesn't equal 2. Like what they're putting together is a whole different thing that doesn't equate to what they're hoping it does. Bro, it doesn't make any sense.
About your healthcare coverage.
Let's talk about this. I think that, all right, audience reset, nigga. Y'all ain't got mics. I do think that social media has given people a false idea that they have options that they don't have. Just because a person is in your DM saying, hey, you cute, or sending you a dick pic, that's really all that is. They literally are they're not trying to sit you down. They're not trying to wife you. They're not trying to date you. They're trying to fuck. And I think so many of us see the options, and you think the options are so open that, oh, this person getting on your, oh, you chewing too loud, bye. Y'all gotta try a little bit harder with these niggas.
That's the problem, though. I'm glad you said that, because in the Bible, it said confuse thy enemy, right?
Why you keep talking about the Bible, you atheist?
Whoa.
Didn't we tell him not to talk about the Bible?
Wait, hold on.
Definitely told you don't speak on the Bible.
In the Bible,
you better leave Big G alone.
I'm trying to help y'all out.
You ain't helping nothing.
Your Sky Daddy sent this message. Crystal is y'all enemy, okay? Listen, Crystal what Crystal saying applies to Crystal and Crystal only, all right?
That's not true.
When Crystal got kids, she still look good. Do what you like to call a bad bitch on the bargain, okay? That's Crystal. But y'all, I'm looking at some of y'all ain't gonna get what Crystal got. So
cut that beard off. You want to talk about looks, nigga?
I grew this.
That's natural.
I grew this.
That has absolutely nothing to do with nothing. I could look the way I look and just be a trash ass bitch, it's just not gonna happen for me.
Hold on. So wait, you think a dude would take you as is if you look like her?
Oh boy.
Who is her?
Who is
Never
her?
mind. Don't do it. Never mind.
No, I just said,
Yeah, okay,
no, I
yeah.
just said,
I was gonna say, don't you dare point nobody
Now, what
out.
I am gonna say this. Now, the physical do get people.
Of course, bro. The looks are always going to be a factor. He made a good point where she might have made a lot of poor decisions, but her looks might mitigate some of that consequences coming her way because men will overlook it because she looks a certain way. So yeah, and that kind of varies from woman to woman. But eventually, right? Time, Myron from Fresh and Fit said it perfectly. Mother Nature gives them their gifts, Father Time takes it away. So even her, as being a more attractive woman, despite the fact that she has kids, time will still catch up to her. Luckily, it seems like she was able to find a guy before then, but yeah, that he's actually right. A lot of women who might look at her and look at her outcome and say, well, she was able to pull it off with kids, and maybe she had a certain past and she's coming to the relationship with kids in tow, and so she was able to do it, so I should be able to do it too. Well, you got to look at yourself and then you got to look at her, and you got to have a reasonable, expectations of what kind of results you can actually get. But women are very unrealistic. You'll have girls who are 5s and below still thinking it's very realistic for them to land an 8. But that's just how women think. Let's keep going.
Attention first. But you're human. That's human.
That's normal.
That's what people
More
do.
people put up with your shit because you look like you.
That's
Yes.
not true.
Yes.
That's not true.
Stop.
true.
Stop dating these women based off of where they are. Because you're going to be much greater than you are right now.
But you
Hold on. Don't deal with women based off of where they are. Find women based off of where you're going. When you're dealing with a woman and you basing your standards off of where you are, you will take anything. You will take her based off of what she look like. She not built for the rooms that you're going to be in. And so what that means for the women is that y'all got to get y'all game together.
This is so true. I use the same argument because I've had men, right? And we'll be talking about marriage and divorce and prenups and that whole thing where you lose your money after the divorce, right? We'll be talking about it. And then a guy will say, well, I don't have any money anyway. I'm broke. And so it doesn't matter. And I'll look at him and I'll say, it does matter. I'll ask him a question. So do you plan for the rest of your life to always make this amount of money? Do you plan that this is it for you? This is your peak. You're never going to make more. You're never going to start a business. You're never going to, come up with an amazing idea. You're never going to write a book. This is your cap financially. Is that what you're telling me right now? Do you have any ambition to be richer, more financially, wealthy than you are right now? And then they'll think about you're right. I do. I actually do have plans to make more money. Okay, then. So you need to make decisions for that individual, for that guy, the guy 5 years from now, 10 years from now. That version of you 5 and 10 years from now, you need to make decisions that are going to benefit him. That way, when you're in that spot, you can look back and you're in a position now that is actually beneficial to you. So getting a prenup or setting up your marriage situation in such a way to where you can't get screwed over is the wise thing to do, regardless of where you stand financially. Because if you have any goals to be better than you are right now, then it's in your best interest to get that prenup. But a lot of guys think, well, I'm broke, so it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to make a decision based on where I currently am in this very moment. No. You have plans to be rich. You need to make decisions that are going to benefit the future you. And that the same thing applies to women. Right now, you might be broke. Right now, you might be looking at your situation and you're working hard, but your situation right now is not great. You might be living at home with your parents. You might not have a lot of money. You might not have finished school, but you're figuring it out. You are aware of your shortcomings and you're developing a game plan to fix your situation. But as it stands, even though you're working on it, you're not where you want to be. So you might look at women around you and you might think, well, I don't have really since I'm not where I want to be, I'll choose a woman that's equivalent to where I'm at the moment. Since I'm broke, since I'm not at the level that I want to be, I'm going to choose a woman that's lower on the totem pole, maybe doesn't have her stuff together, is more combative, more just chaotic. You'll go for that because, well, I'm not where I want to be either, so I'll settle for that. No. You still gotta look for all the traits that you would qualify for when you're at the top. And that's not saying, oh, you deserve her. Because remember, you're working towards being that guy. You have a very conscious game plan of, I'm right here. I realize where I'm at. It's not where I'm supposed to be. I have a game plan to get where I'm going. When I arrive at that place, I need a woman beside me who is qualified to be there with me. That is the mindset you need to have. Don't just pick a woman based on where you're at the moment, because your circumstances will change if you have the right mindset, if you actually have a game plan for the future. So I 100% agree with Anton's take on that.
The guys that y'all call lame, they not going to be lame for the rest of their life.
They
They're going to be some of the most phenomenal dudes. They're going to be the ones that create the companies. They're going to be the ones that got the benefits, and they're going to be the ones y'all going to want to take care of y'all badass kids.
Agreed.
But I pray against your kids, because I don't want...
Why would you pray against the children?
I love watching Anton's videos, man. He always hits it right on the head. He's funny, but he also makes really sound arguments. And I agree with a lot of what he says. I don't think I've come across something that I disagree with from him, to be honest with you. I'm sure there is, but I tend to agree with him. He makes really sound arguments. But let me know what you guys think about this conversation, right? Let me know in the comment section, what's your take? There was a lot that was said, and let me know if I was off base in my takes, and give me your personal opinions. And until next time, guys, take it easy.